Is the greatest fighter of all time afraid? Jon Jones has been accused of ducking Tom Aspinall for over 500 days while holding the UFC heavyweight title. But is this really about fear or finances? Is the man who's beaten legends like Daniel Cormier, Alexander Gustafsson, and Cyril Gane actually scared of the British wrecking machine Tom Aspinall?
Yes, $1,000 bill.
And what's this about UFC President Dana White gambling $10 million while Jones and Aspinall can't agree on fight terms? Stay with us as we uncover the full story behind UFC's most controversial title unification saga. Let's set the stage. Jon Jones, widely considered the MMA GOAT, currently holds the heavyweight title. Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall has been the interim champion since his devastating first-round knockout of Curtis Blades at UFC 304 last July.
I'm the best heavyweight in the world. Prove me wrong, John. If you think you are, prove me wrong. Simple, nothing personal. I ain't hating on nobody. I'm the best heavyweight in the world. If you think you are, let's settle it. Simple as that.
Despite Dana White repeatedly assuring fans that this fight is happening 100%, we've seen no date, no venue, and increasingly, no patience from Aspinall. In fact, the British heavyweight has taken to some creative call-outs recently, most notably bringing a yellow rubber duck to the UFC London broadcast, making it crystal clear who he thinks is ducking him.
Jones versus Aspinall, is that sort of the big priority, and you think that's the biggest fight the promotion can put on in 2025?
100%. I think it's probably the biggest fight in heavyweight history, and it's a massive fight in the history of the company too. It's a big fight.
Yeah. We know Tom Aspinall's down. Jones is kind of like on the fence, or at least that's what he said publicly.
Right.
Have you talked
It's weird.
How confident?
What's weird about that? Let me tell you what's weird about that. So usually, those guys say that shit behind the scenes and not publicly. Jon says that shit publicly, but not behind the scenes. Jon is a very unique individual to deal with.
Would you guarantee 100% we see that fight?
Yeah. I'll say 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
According to recent reports, a major sticking point in negotiations is money. How much? Well, UFC veteran Colby Covington claims Jones is asking for an unrealistic amount to face Aspinall. And while Jones and Aspinall struggle to find financial common ground, Dana White was seen on Instagram entering what he called my first ever Baccarat tournament at MGM Resorts, $10 million tourney. This revelation sparked immediate backlash from fans, with one tweeting, "This is legitimately the extra cost it would take to make Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Remember that the next time Dana says the UFC makes the fights fans want to see."
Quick picture. Sure. Yeah, let's do this. Face off. No, okay. No problem. No problem. Yeah, bud.
Whether the $10 million refers to the buy-in or the prize remains unclear, but it's certainly not a good look when the biggest heavyweight clash in years remains unmade due to financial disagreements. So what do other fighters think about this matchup? UFC veteran Brad Pickett, who now trains prospects like Loner Kavanagh and Nathaniel Wood, offered his perspective to Days End News on whether Aspinall could become the first man to legitimately beat Jon Jones.
The Aspinall-Jones fight happens.
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it, and like, it's gotta happen. There's no way that can't happen.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. I've been watching Jon Jones, as I say, since 2010. I can remember watching when he got DQ'd against Matt Hamill live.
How has he been in the game so long?
I know.
Like, he's been there since those guys we just mentioned. Like, he
beat all them guys.
He was there when GSP was in.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked.
It's mad. He's got proper longevity, and the one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. he game plans to beat people, and he doesn't fight the same way every fight. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. And as much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
Brad Pickett. Honestly, yes and no. Two things. One, it depends on which Jon Jones turns up. Jon Jones is the GOAT in my eyes, the best fighter to ever do it. But sometimes, when you're at the top for such a long time like he has been, it's hard to motivate yourself. That's why, to me, the fight with Aspinall, he's not that motivated for. Pickett also highlighted Aspinall's extraordinary power. Brad Pickett. And that can be a very dangerous thing. So we all see Tom Aspinall. He could knock out anyone. If he had a fight with an elephant, I reckon he could knock the elephant out. So for me, he's the closest to it.
But he's the same height as me, if not an inch taller, but thick.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, you're a lot thicker than I would expect.
Yeah.
And the speed, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, that's the danger. But again, grappling, he's a black belt.
But
Jon is fucking...
That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. They got to fight. But if they don't ever fight, we'll never know.
Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. No, Jon Jones is the GOAT in my book. You know, he's one of the best. And I recently saw Aspinall fight for the first time recently. And he's a great fighter. And he's a great champion. But I think it'll be tough for me to ever say that anybody would beat Jon Jones until it happens.
It's a very intriguing fight. If I had to put money on it, it'd be super hard for me to bet against a guy like Jones. Just because I know the mindset that he comes in with. Not saying Aspinall couldn't get it done because of all those physical gifts that he had. But dog, betting against a guy like that, who, if he gets you on the ground, that's just a bad night.
Curtis Blades, who has faced Aspinall twice, offered some particularly interesting insights during a recent interview with Home of Fight. Blades doesn't believe Jones is scared, but suggests something that might be even more revealing about the champion's mindset. Curtis Blades. This is all on Jon. He's the holdup. I don't know. I'm not saying he's scared because he's Jon Jones. Like, what does he have to be scared of? I do believe, even though it's not fear, I think he's accepting that he's older, a little slower. It's harder to heal from little bumps and bruises and that stuff.
That's why I said big aspect, we don't know.
And why do you think that doesn't happen? Do you think that's like the Jon Jones thing, a negotiation thing?
Yeah. No, this is all on Jon. He's the holdup. I don't know why. I'm not saying he's scared because he's Jon Jones. Like, what do you have to be scared of? I do believe, even though it's not fear, I think he's expecting it. He's older, a little slower, a little... It's harder to heal on the little bumps and bruises and that stuff.
If I win or if Aspinall wins, I don't think Jon's gonna fight anyone outside of Stipe. After Stipe, he walks away into the sunset. I think he likes to toss out different scenarios and like the, what if I fought Alex Pereira? What if I fought Aspinall? What if I fought Blake? He wants people to talk about him.
Do you feel like you're fighting for the real heavyweight championship on July 27th?
That's how I'm viewing it. That's how I'm approaching it. And honestly, the majority of like casual fans, they don't know the difference.
Blades went even further, referencing Jones's controversial victory over Dominic Reyes, Curtis Blades. I think he feels more vulnerable, and we've already seen him. I view his first fight versus Dominic Reyes as a loss because I was there. I watched that fight, I view it as a loss. We've already seen his aura diminished. I think he also understands that, and again, I don't want to say he's scared, but I think he's acknowledging like, I could lose.
Do you think that fight ever gets made? If it does, who do you think takes that one?
It's not gonna happen, but if it did, who knows? I probably want to see it. Like, you can make an argument for Jon, you can make an argument. And that's what I hate, when people only put like a title, like where both guys are amazing. You know, like, yeah, no, this guy 100% is gonna win. How can you say this? That means the other guy, it doesn't mean deserves to be in the fight. I don't view title fights like that. I don't view great matchups. I think he feels more vulnerable, and we've already seen him. I view his fight versus Dominic Reyes, I view that as a loss. Because I was there, I watched that fight, I view it as a loss. We've already seen his aura like diminish. I think he also understands that. I think, again, I don't want to say he's...
In perhaps the most unexpected twist in this saga, British UFC star Paddy Pimblett, who is actually friends with Tom Aspinall, recently made a shocking prediction about who would win this fight. Paddy Pimblett. I'll be honest, Tom is a friend. I love Tom. He is one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting up, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. I've been watching Jon Jones, as I say, since 2010. I can remember watching when he got DQ'd against Matt Hamill live.
The Aspinall-Jones fights happens.
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it, and like, it's gotta happen. There's no way that can't happen.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. I've been watching Jon Jones, as I say, since 2010. I can remember watching when he got DQ'd against Matt Hamill live.
How has he been in the game so long?
I know.
Like, he's been there since those guys we just mentioned. Like, he's been...
He beat all them guys.
He was there when GSP was in.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked.
It's mad. He's got proper longevity, and the one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He game plans to beat people, and he doesn't fight the same way every fight. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. And as much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
Pimblett elaborated on why he believes Jones would prevail. Paddy Pimblett. It's mad he's got proper longevity. And the one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. His game plans to beat people. And he doesn't fight the same way every fight. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. And as much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
Says he is not the GOAT is brain dead to me. You know what I mean? Like, look at the names he beat. Beat Shogun for the belt, Rashad, Rampage, Machida, Gustafsson twice, Cormier twice. And when you look at them names, how anyone can say he's not the GOAT is just like, yeah, GSP is another one who's up there, Anderson Silva in his prime. Khabib only beat like 3 decent people. I don't understand how people can say Khabib's the GOAT. I just don't get it.
Even members of Team Khabib have weighed in on this potential matchup. Javier Mendez, head coach at AKA and longtime figure in Khabib Nurmagomedov's corner, believes Jones is simply being strategic rather than fearful. Javier Mendez, quote, "He wants to win. He does everything he can to win. He's a perfectionist. This guy will do everything he can to win. He's a winner. He knows how to win, and he'll do certain things that maybe are not ethical or unethical just so he can win." According to Mendez, Jones isn't delaying without reason. He's making sure he's fully prepared to face a dangerous opponent like Aspinall, who boasts a 100% finish rate and an average fight duration of just around 2 minutes.
Who is a scarier opponent for you, Alex or Jon?
I think that's a tough question. You know what? Even though I might be saying all this stuff about Jon or whatever, I am not disputing his skills. The same with Alex. One of the most dangerous guys, in my opinion, to ever fight in the UFC. He has that, I don't even know what you call it. He just has the thing where he touches you and you just die. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's unbelievable. I've never seen anybody. Does that translate to heavyweight? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
How does his punch resistance look at heavyweight? Because he has been knocked out at middleweight before. But again, you could put that down to cutting weight.
Man, the first ever 3-division champion would be insane.
It would be. Well, not if he takes my belt. So we'll...
Yeah, no, yeah.
If he does it against someone else, that's pretty cool. But if it's against me.
And here's an interesting angle on Jones' mentality from former UFC bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling, who shared a surprising story about Jones's pre-fight habits that completely changed Sterling's approach to fighting.
Who wins in a fight, Jon Jones or Tom Aspinall?
Tom, all day.
Tom Aspinall. We know Jon's running. It's a good one. I think the next generation is always going to come at some point, and then I would go with Tom Aspinall.
But Jon Jones in his prime is small.
Right now, I think Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight in the UFC.
Tom Aspinall is the popular choice here, but I'm going to go with Jon Jones.
I think now, Tom Aspinall wins.
If I had to put the house on it, I would put it on. I don't like to bet against Jon Jones, and I hope you see it.
Aljamain Sterling, quote, I meet him. I'm thinking I gotta live the life of a monk. I gotta be super disciplined. I'm thinking, this is what Jon Jones is doing. This is why he's killing these guys. Because he's just here with the mental and the sacrifices and everything, the dedication. And then I see him at the bar. Maybe 2 or 3 fights into the UFC. He's probably got a fight the week later, and he's getting smashed, drinking, having a good time, and he's offering me a drink. Sterling continued with the shocking revelation. Aljamain Sterling, quote, I'm like, nah, I got a fight in 5 weeks. Wait, you're fighting tomorrow, bro? I'm confused. What the hell is happening right now? And this changed my mindset. I gave up all the things I enjoyed in life that made training more enjoyable. But I was like, the sacrifice, the sacrifice. But then I realized it came down to the mental. This story gives us a fascinating glimpse into Jones's unconventional approach to fighting and mental preparation. Interestingly, before their rivalry heated up, Jones had actually spoken highly of Aspinall. While the exact quote isn't provided in our source material, it's worth noting that the current animosity wasn't always there. This transformation from respect to rivalry adds another layer to this already complex situation.
Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?
Yes, absolutely. Jon is conning the public, man. I'm not disputing that he's an amazing fighter. Didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years, and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year. And the way he manipulates the media and the public is super smart. I'm not taking anything away from him. But do I think he's scared to take the tough fights at this stage in his career? Absolutely. I respect it, but if you're going to ask me the straight up question, is Jon Jones afraid to fight me? The honest answer would be yes.
So where do we stand now? We have an interim champion in Tom Aspinall who's been waiting for over 500 days for his shot at unification. We have the heavyweight champion Jon Jones, who, according to various sources, is either asking for too much money, needs more time to prepare, or perhaps is even acknowledging his own vulnerability for the first time in his storied career. The questions remain. Will this fight ever happen? Is Jones truly afraid of Aspinall's power and youth? Or is this simply a calculated business decision from a fighter who understands his worth and the significant risk that Aspinall represents?
So what happens when Aspinall fights Jon Jones?
Aspinall's one of the fastest heavyweights. He might be the fastest heavyweight in the history of the sport. I don't think anybody moves like that guy does. At a 250 plus pound frame, his movement's fucking extraordinary. There's some guys, they're just blessed. And then with Jon, it's blessed and his mind. It's not just, it's his personality, his like ruthless competitiveness. It's like he's not going to fucking lose. He's going to find a way to get you. And he's going to do it clever. He's not trying to take a bunch of punishment and to stand and bang. He's not going to point the center of the octagon. Let's go right here. We'll stand right here. Never going to happen with Jon Jones. You're not getting none of that, son. You're getting knees to the gut. You're getting your knees kicked. You're getting just laced up with elbows where your head's bleeding. He's going to slowly dismantle you and find a way to submit you.
What do you think? Is Jon Jones ducking Tom Aspinall? Or is he just being smart about the biggest test of his career? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more UFC coverage.